All right. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of Tech Stocks and Jobs. It's the second one for the year, episode 167. Hope you call episode 166. Hope you call Howie Linux on Monday. You know, try to give you a variety. Let's get some shout outs this morning. Shout out to Joe Hall. Some of you don't know who Joe is, but he's been on the show before. But I sent someone over his way to give some advice on how to get into tech from a different perspective. And we've talked about this before. I want to shout it out, and I'll talk about it after this. But let me get the shout outs in, and then we'll make it happen. All right. So, Kay, what's going on? How you doing? S. Taylor, what's going on with you? I guess I'm no I'm screw this up. Sam, but Bun Sarai or Sir you. I might have messed that up. I apologize if I did. What's up, Don? I don't want to call you Don Juan Bishop, but what's going on? What's going on, Don? Operation Tech Takeover. Thank you for the compliment. I appreciate you. AK Petty. I'm petty T, so you know it is what it is. You've been binge watching. Which one have you been binge watching? Which episodes? What shows? So forth. It's gonna be a lot of information. What's going on, Bless Aries? How you doing? Amarosa, how you doing? McMill, what it is? Cicely, what's going on? You had a thank you for the amazing for watching this show. What's going on, AM? How you been? How you doing? You know, I shorten people names up, make it simple for myself to get through everything. Shout out to those that did not comment on the show, that are watching, that are lurkers. Don't be afraid to interact. The best way to build your network is to interact. For those that don't know, we do have weekly meetups. I missed the one this Wednesday. I was busy trying to knock some stuff out. But we usually have a meetup every Wednesday to discuss everything tech, everything in terms of Linux, everything hands on keyboards. Haven't been hands on keyboards in a while. I said I was going to pick that back up and get back on the keyboard and whatnot, start doing some keyboard stuff. But I don't know. I like the talking, so it's all good. Anna from the Netherlands, how you doing out there? Is it snowing? Or what time of season is it in the Netherlands right now? I need to come back and visit. It's been a minute for me. It's been a minute for me. All right. So this morning, I just had this conversation with D. I come to you conflicted about just just things. Conflicted about things. For those that are in LA, and have lost their homes or losing their jobs or everything, my heart goes out to you. But there were some comments and stuff that were said on the post that I watched, and this is part of the start of the confliction. I have a show today that we're going to do, but I'm going to just express myself now, just a broader audience, and just get you to think as well outside of the box. So one of the big things that I've been seeing, of course, the black neighborhoods that have been destroyed by the fires, so forth and so on, and all the conspiracy theories. But one of the posts was also, as well as in LA, that it's hard for black people to get jobs in LA. And one of the under that same post was people were discussing like why ask for a seat at the table when you can go build your own table. And then there were other people that were giving their scenarios of living in LA and getting jobs. And that got me to thinking about a couple of things. One, from my own personal standpoint, um, I always go back and forth with this, and that's why I always break down my thought process between builders and maintainers. Because some people are very good at maintaining what someone else has built, and some people are builders, meaning they start from scratch, or they help build out something. It may be somebody else's thoughts, it may be somebody else's idea, but they can latch on and help that person build. And then some people, I think, are creators, but those creations may not go anywhere. And that's a whole nother topic, and that's a whole nother conversation. And I don't want to put out there that everybody should be going out and creating and having a seat at the table. I think creating the table, creating the seat, there's so much nuance to that conversation, and this conversation in general. So bear with me as I express myself and express my thoughts, and feel free to chime in and let me know your thoughts. We always say, let's go have a seat at the table, right? Or we always say we can go build a table. But sometimes we can go, and this is where I take on the philosophy from Ace, and Dion knows who I'm talking about. Sometimes we just don't have to build anything, it's already built. We need to go buy what's built. If you have been following along with the whole situation with TikTok, Mr. Wonderful put out there, "I'll buy the company for 19 billion," meaning he already sees the value. He's already seen them generate money. He already knows what it is. What I'm saying is sometimes we don't have to go start anything from scratch. Why not go buy the company? And then how do we buy the company if we don't have any money? And so the conversation then becomes in, well, I can show you how you can get the money so that you can go buy the company. You can go buy the assets of that company. Sometimes you may not buy the company. Sometimes you may just buy the assets of the company. I'm gonna give you an example of how people buy assets out of a company. Good prime example was, I worked for SAIC. SAIC then, over the years, I still had stock with them. A business unit within SAIC got purchased by Lados. So that stock purchase that got purchased by Lados, I still get stock from SIC, and I still get stock from Lados. I still get those shares. I still reinvest those dividends. So I get stock from them, and I get stock from Lados. I still get dividends from them, right? So what I'm showing you is companies have assets that can be purchased if you wanted to, and some things you don't that you want to create doesn't necessarily mean you need to start from scratch. And some things that you want to build doesn't necessarily mean you need to start from scratch. However, you do need some type of collateral, some type of way to say that I can take on this business, whether you're doing business development or you're going in and saying, hey, I can do business development. I can show you all how we can take your customers and expand this and expand that. Or I can use my relationships or my knowledge as leverage into buying that business. Hey, maybe I don't have 200,000 to give you right now for your business, but I can show you that I'm worth the 200,000 if you let me make an investment into the company by using my skill sets, my intangible assets, to show you how I can build your company. And then the company growth that comes after I come into is money towards building, money towards my payment of that 200,000. And maybe it may take 2 years, and maybe it may take 5 years, and maybe it may take 1 year, but you can leverage your knowledge, your assets, your intangible assets. Your knowledge is wealth, your reading is wealth, your network is wealth in order to get there. So I often become conflicted with people understanding, like, I'm just showing you, for those of you that want to be a W-2 millionaire, I'm showing you how you can do that. For those that want to go build and create, I'm showing you how to use your knowledge. And this is strictly focused on infrastructure and Linux, where you can go build and say, okay, you know what? I want to build my own Linux consulting company. I want to build my own cloud consulting company, my own security company, my own managed services company. Maybe you do managed services, maybe you do all these other things, but you got to have a foundation, and you got to start somewhere. Oh, put a one in the chat if all this conversation makes sense to you. Put a one in the chat, because I often get conflicted because I hear so many people, and I've been approached about this before. People will say, um, they'll say to me, "You're teaching people to be a worker bee." I've had that conversation before with folks. And then I say, okay, well, define worker bee for me, because if I'm showing you and telling you the opportunities out there for you to make 100, 200, 300, 400, 500,000, when the average, and just don't average, if we're talking about the average black family wealth, that's when we start getting to these discussions, because then it strikes a chord with me, because then I get agitated. I get agitated. Let's because I like to stick to the facts. All right. I like to stick to the facts. Average black family net worth. Right? We know what it is, but let's look it up. In 2022, right? In 2022, it said the average black households in the United States, the net worth of black households in the United States was 44,000. I'm talking about getting jobs at 100, 200, 300, 400,000, right? So let's just play the numbers game. Let's play the numbers game. Let's play the numbers game. All right. Uh, Continue to read, but we're gonna play the numbers games. The black and white households has been growing for decades. The gap. White households median wealth is 250,000, where black households is 27,000. So what you're saying to me, I got two people who are living in the household, and I'm just gonna round it up and just go with the 44,000. But you're saying to me that two people who are living in the household, that our average worth is 44,000. I'm trying to show you how to go get a job for them 100, 200, 300, 400, 500,000. Be a worker bee, if you want to call it that, or if you want to call it, you want to be a creator or a maintainer or a builder, pick one. I don't care. I'm just trying to show you how you can not be this stat, right? I'm showing you how to beat that stat, and I'm also showing you how to also create at the same time, and then also on top of all of that, retire early. Like I often get conflicted with it, because I hear so many things, so many different things, and yeah, you got to drown out the noise. But I also read the comments from people, and I also hear the comments from people where it's like, what are we at? What's our end goal? So I had to stick to my focus, right? I had to stick to my focus. My focus is for you to understand that there is noise out here. And yes, I am talking about getting a job. And it's so funny. One of the YouTubers, Anton Daniels, and me and him have gone back and forth on this plenty of times. Where people get it so confused about, should I go to work or should I go build a company? And there's nothing wrong with you having a job that pays you well for you to go to work and pay for your family and live and travel and save. Why is that a crime? And then here's the rebuttal. Is that all you think of yourself? No, it's not. But it works. It works. It motherfucking works. I get confused as to why this is a conversation. We're talking stats here. I'm talking about jobs at 100,000, 200,000, 300. I've shown you these jobs. I've pulled up my actual offer letters and showed you jobs that are willing to put in 25% into your 401k and so forth and so on. 7%, 10%, 15%. And people will fight, and we will have a huge issue with it. But why? 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 Why can't we all make money and be happy together? Why can't we all make money and save and be happy together? What is wrong with that? I like I said, I get conflicted on it sometimes because it's just one of them things. You're right, Wrecking you. It's a scam. You need a six pack of 16 pack of abs to make 120, or you need to be a manager. That's my favorite one. Anybody who makes two or $300,000 is a manager. No, they're not. I can show you. I can show you they're not managers. I can show you somebody making $150,000 is not a manager. They're on a team. It's done. I don't know if people understand that it's easier to make 300,000 on a job compared to making 100,000. I mean, 300,000 and running a business, and that's business dependent, work ethic dependent, product dependent, market dependent, customer dependent. I don't know, right? One of the big things that I do know is, and this is, I'm gonna show you this. Let me pull it up real quick. Let me pull up my episode real quick, and then it's along the same lines, but it's a little different. Then we'll get into the show. All right, let me pull this up. This is what I thought was interesting. And we're gonna talk about it a little bit. It's along the same lines, but it's a little different. So I want to break this down right here. All right. So this conversation, I was reading this, and I was like, now look at this. And then somebody will say, "Oh, that must have been he must have been an executive, blah 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 blah, whatever, whatever." Okay, let's talk about it. So I know it's awkward to give advice to wealthy people. My wife, 50, has terminal cancer. Our estate is worth 18 million. But now let's go look at the breakdown of this. Let's go look at the breakdown of this. All right. So, oh, hold on. Let me get logged in because I do subscribe to Market Watch. I do have this. Hold on. Let me log in. Oh, hold on. I'm logged in. I don't know why it's not showing here, but maybe I need to log in. Hold on. Because when you look at the numbers, you're gonna be like, what? You understand the confliction? Yeah, I just be like, man, like what is going on? Oh, hold on. It ain't letting me in on that one. Hold on. Maybe I'm under this one. Hold 1 second. Or maybe I'm under something else. Oh no, it's this is right. Okay, cool. All right, which one? This is the tab right here. Okay. So let's go. All right, let's scroll back up here. All right, so here we go. He said, what level of estate planning does one need for 1 million to a 10 million to $100 million estate? I'm 51. My wife is 50. We have two children, 19 and 21. One starting law school, and the younger is planning to go to medical school. Right. So listen, they got an estate worth 18 million, but their children are planning to go to law school and medical school. They could go start a business. They could go do something else. They can go buy a business. I'm sure their mom and dad will help. Right. It says our estate is worth 18 million. Our assets include our primary residence of 2.5 million. They have 5.4 million in almost all non-Roth, right? Non-Roth, and the IRA and 401k, and 4.5 million in between their brokerage and their savings account, and they have 6 million in income generating real estate. Now, I'm just gonna highlight this because they 51 to 50, right? Now, when you look at something like this, and you tell me that you're talking about out here creating worker bees or people that are gonna be enslaved or worked to death by working for someone. And again, I'm just showing you what someone has done. Who knows what they've done in the past to get to this? I have no idea, right? But when I see numbers like this, and then I go look at like another conversation that came up was like, how many multimillionaires are out there in the United States? How many millionaires are out there in the United States? Where are the millionaires actually at in the United States? Between New York, Texas, Florida, and California, or where you're gonna find most of your millionaires at. Sorry, that's just where the numbers. That's where everybody has migrated to, right? But when I look at numbers like this, I think to myself, okay, what did this person do? What had they done? What can I do? What's going on? So forth and so on, right? Vaughn says most businesses that make $1 million a year only take home 10% to 30% of that, anyways. If that correct, no one wants to talk about that. If I said that too, who if everyone owned a business, who gonna do the work? I say that too, right? All right, so let's get into it. It says the rest of the estate is split into automobiles, furniture, and jewelry. I'm not counting on any value of the business, and I am unsure if we'll ever be able to sell it. I'm also not counting on the expected inheritance of 2 million to 3 million sometime over the next decade. But if it materializes, it will have to be considered for estate tax purposes, right? So when I look at these numbers and I look at these conversations and stuff like that, and I go back and I look at this here, and then I turn around and I go over here to levels, FYI. Let's just go back over here to levels. Whatever comes up, right? And we look at salaries, right? Right, and we go over here just for shits and giggles, and we look at an architect here at 983,000 total comp, 254,000 base, 705,000 stock options, and then we had our conversations, and we're talking about, uh, I'm talking about millions, and we're just talking about our net worth here at 27,000 median, 44,000 on the average. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Go to work. Do what suits you. Is all I'm saying. Do what suits you, but don't sit up here and shame people for wanting to go to work. Don't shame people for wanting to get up every day and clock in and go to work. And don't let nobody shame you for that. Don't let nobody shame you for getting up every day to go clock in and go to work. Don't let no one shame you for getting up and clocking in and going to work. And because your credit score is straight, and because you built and gotten money, and you've done all these things, now you can go buy a house, you can go buy a car, you can go buy a watch, you can go on that vacation, you can go on that trip. You could go somewhere. You can afford to go take your mom out. Literally, I took my mom out for when she retired. And this is no brag or nothing like that. This is just true life event that happened. I took my mom, we went out to dinner for her retirement. We wanted to forego the child. The bill came. I just knew how it was gonna be. Everybody was gonna be like, I only had this and I only had that, and this is what I got. We want separate checks for everything. I just told the waitress, I was like, just bring me the bill. So the waitress brings me the bill, and it was at least 15 to 20 of us that was there. And I took it. I looked at the bill. I thought the bill was gonna be like $4,000 or $5,000. Bill was $2,500. I was like, run that. We had drinks. We had people was eating at the bar. They had this. They had that. I'm like, run that. I know for me, I myself, could probably go and spend $2,500 on one item. That's easy. Go buy a watch. Go get the brakes fixed on a car. I can spend that. Go buy some tires. Yeah, that was cheaper than throwing a retirement party. Everybody pull up. They got their car. They bring her a present. Don't give me the money that you was gonna give to the lady. Give it to her. Give the money to my mama. Simple. Hey, AM, I'm not mad that your side business is gonna be. I mean, your what you do right now is gonna be your side business because you're getting into tech. I'm telling you, like when I started out and on this journey in tech, I used to say, "Man, am I ever gonna get there? Am I ever gonna get there?" Right? I just knew there was a greater life, and I knew I wanted greater things, and those greater things maybe they may be I don't want to say minuscule to some. I don't want to say that way. They may be um I don't know what the good word is, but I knew I wanted a nice house. I knew I wanted a nice car. I knew I wanted to have money saved away. I knew I wanted to go on trips. I knew I want to experience these things. I don't want someone to I don't want to wait um till I got to a place where I had to depend on someone to experience those things. I wanted those things for myself. It's just something I wanted for myself. I had goals for myself. I was like, when I get to 80,000, I wonder if I can get to 100. What does it look like to get to 100,000? I don't know. What I need to do to get there? What do I need to do to make 1 million a year in W-2 salary? And you make 1 million somewhere else, but what does it look like to make 1 million a year in W-2 salary? What does it look like to make 1.5? What does it look like to make 2? What does it look like to make 5? And then people be wondering why some of these people don't start businesses and stuff like that. Some of the compensations that they have, they don't need to start businesses. They don't need to go out and start those businesses. Look at this one. So a distinguished engineer over at Google, and this is under the software engineer. The total comp is 2.28 million. They get a base salary of 348,000. They got stock options of 1.8 million, and then they got a bonus 120,000. I'm not making this up. I'm just showing you what's out here, right? Let me see if they got Nvidia listed. All right, so here we go under here, software engineer, and they put and this is why I tell you this is why I was telling y'all last week. The infrastructure game is so deep, it goes so far and so long, but they never really kind of roll infrastructure by itself. But your systems engineer, your site reliability engineer, your network engineer, kind of all fall under your infrastructure side of the house. You won't never really see that, right? They kind of roll us up on the software engineer. So that's why a lot of y'all see these jobs out here, the DevSecOps software engineer. That's because because there's really no true classification for infrastructure. There's really no true. They roll us under DevOps and then they roll DevOps under software engineer. So let's go here and look at an IC for level 4. So the IC, their total comp is 600,000. This is just what they put in right now. Remember, this is everybody don't report their salaries, but we know most of the tech people who have been in Nvidia that came out in Nvidia have all came out as millionaires, right? Um, and I can pull up their article as well. And this came out in September of last year. So let me pull this over. Hopefully, oh yeah, Forbes will still let me watch it. Hold on, they'll still let me read it. And it's from last year. And I reported on it last year. But here we go. Right. Nvidia employees become multimillionaires, but what at what price, right? Come on, go away. All right, so Nvidia's employee stock purchase program that allows staff to buy 15% discount has transformed the lives of of many employees with the stock price soaring from $14 in 2022 to 107 by the time of this publication. And I think Nvidia is probably at what 130 or 140 now, whatever it was. I think I looked the other day, it was 140, it jumped up to 149, then there was a sell-off. Right. So again, they're calling them golden handcuffs, but are you mad that you got a golden handcuff and you making a million? I mean, tell me if I'm wrong or right here. Are you mad? Are you mad? What do you got to be mad about? Why are you upset? Right? And so when I see these things out here and I see these jobs, let me look up here. Let me go here. If you want a total comp of 1.25, let me just see how what they come back with. I just want to see. Let me go companies. Let's go. We go principal, manager, director, executive. Sure. Let's hit apply. Right. And you all got to get out here and you got to make it happen for yourself. Right. You're gonna have to. I given you a path. Right. I've given you a path. I've given you what you can do, what you can't do. Right. Just go do it at this point. Go do it at this point. What's going on, Jerome? And stop. And again, like I said, stop letting people dupe you all into thinking that you all got to be this entrepreneur or whatnot. Why? I ain't saying it ain't. It's a bad thing. I'm just saying I'm lazy, if you ask me, and I want to take the road where it's gonna be easy for me to make some money. And if I can go sit in a job and the job pay me 400,000 for the year, and I go do a side hustle, and that side hustle brings me in an additional $10,000 a month. What am I mad about? Because this is the rebuttal that would be because now you could go do so much more if you just freed up your time. If you just freed up your time from working that 9 to 5, you could then go around and turn around and you can work for yourself. They making money off of you. They making millions off of you. They are. They are. They are. They're making millions off of you. They are. But I can also go out and make some millions off myself. You got to understand self. You got to understand yourself. You got to understand what you're good at. If you know you're not good at financials, you probably need to hire a CPA. So now you got to pay for that. If you know you're not good at getting up on time and cooking and doing meal preps and all that, you're gonna have to pay for the meal preps. If you know that you're not good at getting up and going and make sure your car got gas in it, keeping it clean, tires rotating, this, that, all that stuff, all in other. Maybe you need to hire your a car service. Maybe you need to live in the city where you can ride on a train or you can catch the bus or you can walk to work. Whatever it is that you how you want your life set up, guarantee you gonna have to pay for it. If you don't want to drive to work, you want to walk to work, you got to pay to live in that area. And most times when you pay to live in the area, you're paying at a premium where those jobs are at. Your rent is not going to be 1,500. Your rent may be 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, depending on the area, depending on the job. If you want to play, you may have to pay. It's just that simple. Just that simple. All right, let's get into it. I ain't gonna beat y'all up no more. I ain't gonna beat you up. I'm done. I ain't gonna beat you up no more. All right, let's go. All right, Amazon Services pledges to invest $11 billion in infrastructure for data centers in 2 Georgia counties. So AWS is putting 11 billion in infrastructure, which is again the silent game for data centers in 2 Georgia counties. The 2 Georgia counties, they're doing. Amazon Web Services plans to invest. Let me blow it up a little bit more. Look small on the screen for you all. Amazon Web Services plans to invest $11 billion to expand infrastructure in 2 Georgia counties, and in the process create 550 jobs. So they're expanding into 2 counties. They're creating 550 jobs. Again, I always tell you, people got to eat, they got to sleep, they got to get their car washed, they got to go grocery shopping, and they got to be entertained. So if you working, if you got a business or something like that, and you want to work in the and you want to build your business in these areas, just know what comes with they're building a data center there. So again, what does that mean, right? So the data centers that they're building in is in Butts and in Douglas County, and will facilitate their Seattle's cloud computing company, and artificial intelligence technologies. This is probably more for for AI. Instead of retrofitting, they're gonna build, right. Amazon has previously made investments into Douglas County, where one of its units paid more than $37 million for 118 acres. And I say all the time, take your money and go buy the land. Now imagine if you were part of that 118 acres that they were purchasing. I don't know. Maybe you had 20 acres and they want to come in and swoop up and make that part of them 20 acres. Maybe you bought them 20 acres for $15,000. They come in and they're gonna say, hey, we want to make you an offer. They don't tell you who it is. They say we want to make you an offer, and you be like, okay, what's the offer? What you offering me? Maybe they offer you 100,000 for it. You paid 20. Maybe they offer you 150. You paid 20. Either way it go, you still come up. It's not a bad come up, right? It says the company has not said how much data center capacity it plans to build in Butts or Douglas, nor did it specify which types of infrastructure improvements it will back. The investment is expected to create hundreds of technical jobs at AWS, including data center engineers. Yeah, let me highlight this, because y'all will be like, I don't know where to work at in Georgia. I don't know what to do in Atlanta. We don't know it. Here we go. Here we go. The investment is expected to create hundreds of technical jobs at AWS, including data center engineers, network specialists, engineering specialists. It could indirectly lead to thousands of local construction jobs and positions within data center suppliers, the company stated. Their investment will be the most significant in Butt's history, and represents a truly collaborative effort for more than a year by Butts County County Board of Commissioners and Development Authority of Butts County, the Butts County Water and Sewer Authority, and so forth. Each entity worked diligently with AWS to ensure the investment, which will enable significant infrastructure improvements throughout our community. Right? If they got to come and spend, they got to also put in some work into the community. Right? So again, looking at what that is. Also, AWS in announcement in the Midwest in December is pledging to spend $10 billion in a data center in Ohio. Again, where follow the money. And here's the question you got to ask, because they're building in Butts and also Douglas. You need to ask what other companies are coming into that area. What is the housing like in that area? And can I get in now in order for me to gain value on the long run? Again, we playing the long game, the 10-year game, the 20-year game, right? People don't become unless they hit the lottery or an inheritance. These multimillionaires overnight, right? Everybody don't do it overnight, right? But you got to be willing to understand what's going on in your community. So now For those of you that live in Butts and you live in Douglasville or Douglas County, I would be going to the Economic Development Office down there and finding out what is their 10-year plan. Every city has a 10-year plan. You need to know what that is. You need to know what that is, right? So let's play the game. Economic development. And this is all public information. Right here. Those that live in Butts. Here you go. Go find out what they're doing. Go attend the meetings. Go find out what's coming down the pipe. Because what's coming down the pipe, and it's here it is. Here's the comprehensive plan right here from 2022 to 2042, right here. Literally right here. You want to know what county you live in, what they're doing? This is what you need to be looking at. They got an economic development plan. They're working on housing. They're also working on, they're probably changing some zoning for land use, right? Future land use and character areas, parks, recreation, lake residential, highway activity, broadband in the area. Don't think that broadband wasn't going to increase in that area, right? Drop that's right. They paid $40,000 per acre. Say you had 20 of them acres. Say you had 20 of them acres and they put 40,000 on per acre. You mad? All you did was go buy the land. All you did was look at the economic development of what's going on in the community. They don't want to hear about this. People don't want to hear about this, but this is how you find out what's going on and what's coming down the pipe in different communities, whether you should buy that land or not. Right here go Butts, right? And they put in and they bought in Butts and Douglas. And you can see what this looks like. They all talking about where the water come from, water planning regions. Right? Let's talk about that water planning. I don't know if y'all saw this. It's going around on it's going around on TikTok. Let's talk about this water real quick and we're gonna get back into it. Got a lot of thoughts here. Yep, new opportunity zone. Right? We'll talk about Rome, Georgia in a minute. We'll talk about Rome in a minute. All right. The Resnicks, right? Um own most of the water in California, right? Who owns most of the water? The Resnicks. One billionaire couple that owns all the water in California. And this is a question, how do you own water? Right? How do you own water? Right? Right? But also, if you keep up with the Resnicks, they have several things. Pistachios, they got all kind of stuff. Like if you go back and do your research on them, and I'm not gonna spend time on them today. If you go back and do your research on them, you'll see. Their $13 billion fortune, the Resnicks are California's richest farming family with 185,000 acres of land and a stake in the current water bank and 20,000 acre reservoir of water supplies in San Joaquin? And it's San Joaquin Valley, right? So water, they own water. You can own the land. So I always like to play around. Let's do this. Um, so Butts County zip code 316, 314. Let's go with 314. And I'm gonna do Butts. Let me do Butts first. Let's just do Butts County, and let's filter on only land like I already have it, right? And then let's go and let's do one more filter here for sale. I want to go only by a certain amount of square feet. Let me go back up. They won't let me do 7,500. No, they ain't like that one. 1,750. They ain't like that one. All right, let's leave it at no minimum. Set apply. Let's go from high to low. 322 acres now goes for 12. 131 goes for 3. I bet I know these prices shot up after this announcement. 69 acres 1.3, 25 acres at 800,000. 7. Somebody got 106. They must got a ravine or something. This must not, most of this probably not buildable. Maybe. But you got 38 acres down here for 691. 6 acres for 650. 43 acres at 500,000. So I would look at something like this. You got 43 acres for 500,000. So now the question is, what am I getting on this land? Because you can turn this land into whatever you want it to be. All right, let's go back to the listing. All right, so 43.76 acres with a detached garage and a creek at the back of the property. Just when you think Jackson doesn't have any more beautiful properties for sale, this one right here is it. The property has a beautiful graded driveway with an electronic gate already installed. 1,200 square foot workshop detached garage with water and electricity ready for you. 2 great locations are already built, are ready for you to build and bring your visions. Soil is great as the seller has already performed the soil test. A nice flowing creek in the back of the property and wildlife is abundant. There's a small portion of this property that is sitting on a neighboring pond next to the next door neighbor. Directly across the street is the entrance to the Doucette Trail Nature Center, and a couple of miles down the road is the Indian Spring Park. Give us a call for easy listing. Updated 3 days ago, and it's been out here for 22 days. Right, 500,000. I agree. That's a sweet deal. You spend 500,000 on land here in Florida for a house in Florida. You get 43 acres there. But then check this one out right here. This they've already done some work on shredding, on knocking down the trees. This one is undeveloped. It's no development on this at all. So you got to go in and develop on this. You got to go in and knock down some trees on this one. It's 41.62 acres. Right? You have to go in and knock down trees on this. Right? So that could cost you a little bit more. That could cost you a little bit more. Right? They've already done the work on the other one. Right? 430,000 for this one here. But check this, look at this right here. They got 1 acre lots at $437,000. One at Belfort Estates, 1 acre lot is 437,000. Now the question is, the builder who bought this, how much did he buy the land for? Then he chopped it up into 1 acre parcels, and now those subdivides 437,000. And then now they got their plans up right here. This is what I want to see right here. Right? I have to go back and read this to find out how much they bought. Like, you have to go back and do some research to find out how much they bought this land for. Then they subdivided and created estates out of it. And now they're selling each lot at 437,000. Let's just say he got 20 lots out there that he's selling at 437,000. I agree. The community needs to put the energy into form a consortium to buy lands instead of the foolishness on social media. I agree. Right. I'm just showing you how to think outside the box. You all ask, what do you do with your money? Here's the opportunity to do something with your money. Now let's go. I went from highest to lowest. Let's go from low to high. A 10,000 square foot lot at 19.42 at 29. You get 3 acres at 33,000. You got 1 acre at 35, another 1.3 acres at 35. So you know that bonus that I always talk about you get, right? Remember that sign-on bonus that I talk about y'all can get where it's 20,000, 30,000, 50,000, whatnot. Why can't you go take your sign-on bonus and go do this? Right? I'm not saying buy this particular lot, but go buy the land. Go make an investment into something. And if you're not sure what you're gonna do with it, take that money and go dump it into a high yield savings account and let it grow. Let it work for you, right? Until you figure it out. But don't take your sign-on bonus and go spend it. Take your sign-on bonus, and you should be looking at a sign-on bonus at every job you hop to. Take your sign-on bonus and make sure that you go and invest it, right? I don't even know where Flo Villa, Georgia is. I ain't never heard of Flo Villa. Is this the sister of Glorilla? Flo Villa? Is this Glorilla's sister? Like, is this her sister? Flo Villa? I don't know. I'm just asking questions, right? Butts County, Douglas County, or yeah, Douglas County. Let me go. That was another one. Douglas County, Georgia. All right, that zip code is we're gonna go Douglas. I don't have to do the zip code. Let's go Douglas. All right, let's go back and deselect and do land lots apply. All right, for 17,000 you can get 1,500 square foot lot. For 30 you can get 1.1. I am sorting by low to high. 0.47, 33,000, 0.51, 35,000. So roughly about 40,000 is what you're starting to look at, right? Roughly about 40,000. You get a 1.73 lot at 50,000 here. So it look like they already got building some stuff around here, but you can put a house on there and carve all the way out to the back right here. That's the way they got this lot design right here. So this person house go all the way to the back right here. This lot line go all the way to the back right here. 1.73. Let me go back. All right, let's go from high to low. 5.5 million. Butts had them out at 12 million. 48 acres, 3 million, 3.5 million for 105. This is a house at 1.5 million that's sitting on 11 acres. 1.5 million and it's sitting on 11 acres. You can close in that garage. You can do a lot of things. Throw a pool in the back. But look, it got, I don't know, I wonder if this is part of that too. You know me, I'd be like, close that shit up. Can we close that down? I don't need to see that. I don't need it. I wonder if this is all that this they grew this so they can have their own lake on their land. I'd be like, ma'am, I don't need that. Flood insurance. It rained too hard. I flood my own property out. I'm good. 750,000, 3.3 acres. It's a house on it. 17 acres, 3.3, 3.3, three bedrooms, three baths. This is near Mirror Lake. Three is the land features a three-bedroom, 2.5 brick home on a full with a full basement in Villa Rica, 17.19 acres. 17.19 acres. You can build your own community. Never heard of Flo Villa. I ain't never heard of Flo Villa either. Never heard of it either. Right? Let's get busy. All right. Let's start from the top. What are y'all gonna do this year? You should be attending some tech conferences. Let's talk about it. First one's up. QCon. QCon is gonna be in Atlanta this year. Guess who's gonna be there? I'm gonna be there for that. QCon will be in Atlanta this year. I have a call in today with our good fellow with our good fellow friend, Mr. Kelsey Hightower. Did you all know that CubeCon was started by two black men? You didn't know that, did you? So those that don't know, I'm looking to build out a women in Linux track at QCon. I gotta go talk to my folks, get my stuff together or whatnot. But if you are want all access, if you're a student, it's $275. They have scholarships. They have scholarships. They have, I'm repeating, I'm doing my Umar. They got scholarships. Right? If you want to get your ticket early, you can get your ticket early. They got sponsors, but this is another way to find jobs. Right? Your diamond members, Red Hat, HA Proxy. You want a job? They're sponsoring. Go look at jobs at Red Hat. Go look at jobs at HA Proxy. Right? Platinum. Here's all the companies that have that bought the platinum package. This is how you go find the jobs. Look at who's here. Your IBM is here. Part of Cisco, Portworx, Pure Storage. I think they're owned by Red Hat, by the way, or IBM, either or. SUSE, Gold. These are companies that we know already that are hiring, that are in tech. These are companies to go look at. Right? These are companies to go look at. So if you ever want to know how to find jobs, go look at the companies that are also paying for sponsorship at these particular events. Right? So QCon is where I will be at. Let me see. See, do I show up? I may not. I don't know. Oh, there we go. QCon. Of course I show up. It was me and Steve. QCon. Boom. This was our black effect at QCon. This is where we all sat around and we talked about how do we get more black people at QCon. What you see is what was there. Besides a couple of stragglers, few stragglers. But this was us at QCon. Heather, where you at in the picture? Did you slide out? He and I work together. There's D. Oh, there go Heather right there, right next to me. All of us. There goes Steve back there. saying what? How can we make CubeCon and get more black people in? That's what we want. Because let's talk about it. So CubeCon in 2023 had 9,500 folks, 6,700 in person, and 2,700 virtual. Of that demographic, it's probably about 30 folks, maybe at the most 50. I'm being nice at 50. I even go 100 just for shits and giggles. 100 black people that actually were at the conference to attend the conference, not work the booth. Right? It's gonna be in Atlanta this year. It's gonna be in Atlanta this year. I'm expect to see more than 50. I'm putting y'all on notice in the chat. I'm putting you on notice that those that go back and watch the replay. I'm putting you all on notice. I'm putting I'm and somebody tag keep it techie in this. Somebody tag keep it techie, textual chatter. What's his name with the security? What's his name? Oh man, I forget his name last year. Yeah, it was in Salt Lake last year. Oh gosh, I forget his name. Professor Black Ops. Putting them on notice. Somebody tag Erica Williams in it. Putting them on notice. I'm putting all the black content tech creators on notice. We them folks. What's his name? Ebony. I'm putting her on notice. Putting them all on notice. Yep. Everybody, put them on notice. Tag them. Struggle, especially struggle security. His ass on notice. Put them all on notice. Show up to the events. Speak at the conference. They got called for proposals, right? Call for proposals. So let's go. So you can go for calls for proposals. What is the name of that joint? Let me look it up. Hold on. Because CubeCon sent me their stuff out. So you can go call for proposals at CubeCon where you submit your talk. You can also be a part of the program chair as well too, right? You can also sit on and help get pick the actual talks as well, or help pick the actual talks as well, right? So again, I'm calling everybody out. They also show you how to prepare and submit your proposal and writing your proposal. We've worked very hard with this before because again, people get nervous. It's hard sitting down writing up your proposal and saying having somebody scrutinize and say yay or nay on it, right? But here it is right here, CubeCon, right? This is the one in Europe, but they also have one in it for call for proposals for the one in America. I have to find it. I'll put it up. But they out here. They looking, right? Let me look and see if this gives me all of it. Overview, prepared, sample, your code of conduct. They just got all the different stuff. All right. So I know you all have never really probably paid attention, but here's what the Linux Foundation, here's all their events. For those that are into Argo CD, there's ArgoCon, Backstage Con, Kubernetes AI. Those that are dealing with Cilium, right? AMW. This is for you. They should have one in the US as well. Cloud Native Telco. Remember, I talked about the telcos and their open shift, open stack, that vision, that what they're looking at. They have that. They also have them here in the United States, right? This is just all the stuff that I'm pulling. Looks like I'm pulling international here. Tokyo, Hong Kong, Hyperdat, India. Here it is in the United States. Call for proposal, and then they've already they plan. I think they plan at least 5 years in advance. So KubeCon in Europe is going to be in Amsterdam. That's another good place to go talk to. Dr. Did put them on notice. So it's going to be KubeCon. It's going to be in LA in 2026. It's going to be in LA in 2026. She gave me all the areas of that or where they're going to be at. Again, looking to get get you at KubeCon in Atlanta. So KubeCon, or I should say Linux Foundation scholarships. So scholarships. Uh, this is how I got to my first conference, was on a scholarship, but it one with the Linux Foundation. It was with OzCon, and OzCon is no longer around. It used to be what O'Reilly would do. So OzCon, if you look at OzCon, Tameika Reed, that's where I started doing my stuff, my talks. I started doing my talks, all the different looks. I keynoted here in 2018. Here's my OzCon, diversity and collaboration, 7 years ago. You can go out and watch it. But my talk was about diversity in education, like the different ways to learn and to receive training. I think oftentimes when it comes to us, I don't think the diversity is enough in terms of education. Like, here's what I mean. A lot of you say, okay, I don't want to go to college, but at some point you're gonna have to read something. You're gonna have to read somebody material, right? You got to read somebody's book. You're gonna have to apply that knowledge somewhere, right? So when we're talking about diversity in education, I'm really talking about, there's so many different ways to learn a subject. You can do hands-on training, you can look at videos, you can create your own videos, you can read a book, you can apply what you can read and then apply. You can sit in somebody's classroom, you could go to college. Again, you need to know what all your options are, and you need to understand how you read, train, and study. A lot of you don't understand how you learn. So when you start learning how you learn, you're going to start looking for things that help you understand material. Some people can sit down and listen to an audio book and not even ever look at anything. I can't do that. I need the audio, I need the visual, and I need the keyboard so now I can apply the knowledge. You need to understand how you learn. So that's what this conversation was about, was diversity in learning, because it's not just one way to learn. It's just not one way to even consume information. Some of you consume information with shorts, and I think we've gotten away from learning so much so that if we don't get it in 30 seconds, we're not even gonna listen to it. And some things you ain't gonna be able to get in 30 seconds. You're not gonna understand the difference between a scheduler and an annotation by a short clip on TikTok. You may have to sit down and read. And we've gotten away from the art of that, to so much so that we feel we can't even sit in a class to learn, because we're like, if I sit in this class, it's 2 hours. I can't get back. Excuse me, I can't get back to 2 hours. Now I can't learn, right? When it may not be that you sit in the class and listen to somebody for 2 hours. It may be you sit in the class and they teach for 15 minutes, and then you give you 20 minutes to apply the knowledge, and then they teach the next portion of that class. So that 2 hours may be broken up between hands on and you reading and learning or listening to that person. So it could be a number of ways we learn, but again, you need to learn how you learn. But nevertheless, that's how I got to my first conference, was a scholarship. So the Linux Foundation has scholarships out here. Scholarships typically open April the 1st of each year. Go and sign up for those scholarships. They also have scholarships for their classes as well too. So the next bit one, outside of KubeCon, is the Red Hat conference. So Red Hat Summit 2025. I missed it last year. I'm going to try to make it this year. It's May 19th to 2022 back in Boston. Back in Boston. So again, check them out. Right, Red Hat Summit. You can speak there too. 1700 over 1700 companies attended, 80 countries represented, 300 labs, 76 sponsors. Who were their sponsors? Go look at that. Go look and see who their sponsors were. Um, the one in Boston is usually the more popular one. It's their headquarters. It's usually the more popular one, right? Usually a more popular one. You're like, why would I attend the Red Hat Summit? They ask you a question here. Why would you attend the Red Hat Summit? Usually the Red Hat Summit is coincided with Ansible, so they usually have Ansible Fest there. With that, let me look at let me see if I can log in. Usually I buy a virtual ticket if I don't go, and then once I and then I just attend virtually. It's not the same as attending in person. Most definitely not the same. So let me look at Red Hat 2023. I mean 2024. Uh, because they keep all their stuff published on their page. They don't push out to anyone else. All right. You say you have an interview for financial counseling in healthcare on the 14th. Is there an online free course? Interview? I'm not sure what you mean. Is an online free course for what in particular? All right. So one of the big things, if you look on Red Hat stuff, is how they break it out. Um, too big there. So they have panels, core keynotes, labs, lightning talk, roundtable discussions. They also have non-technical, technical, introductory, intermediate, and advanced. And then they break it out by product. So if you know you're only interested in Red Hat consulting, right? No match on Monday. They got 3 sessions that happened on that Tuesday, right? And then they have 9 sessions that happen on Wednesday. High performance trading systems with multi-site self-healing using Red Hat OpenShift, a bank in a box. How Delta Airlines uses OpenShift. They use Rosa, Rosa, right? Red Hat on AWS, right? Mastercard Kubernetes. How does Mastercard use OpenShift? Again, you're saying who uses Linux? Well, we just showed you Delta and Mastercard off the rip, right? How they're doing configuration as code with Red Hat Ansible automation platform. Well, if you look down here to see who's giving it, this is Red Hat giving theirs. So 9 times out of 10, Red Hat uses it their own products as well too. You can also work at Red Hat. Here's one from JP Chase and JP Chase Morgan. So JP Chase Morgan uses Linux. Again, you're looking at jobs. Who uses Linux? Where's infrastructure lie? Here you go. Operational at scale. Who's this? Morgan Stanley. You've heard of those names, right? Infrastructure architect at UPS. UPS infrastructure is called end-to-end automation delivery. UPS, right? BBVA. I don't know who BBVA. Banco Blib Bill. I'm screwed that up. Somebody in Argentina. Saudi telecom company. How they use it, right? So again, you just showed you different companies that are using Red Hat products, and the same here. You can go down what the talks are, look and see who's doing what in Sono, Red Hat, TD Bank Financial. How's TD Bank low latency applications with Red Hat OpenShift? So TD Bank is using Red Hat OpenShift, and again, you're looking for jobs, right? You're looking for jobs. It now is a manager. So if we went to TD Bank and said TD Bank careers, let's see what we find. And then let's look at discover jobs. All right. Now I'm just going to type in here OpenShift because it looks like they may be using OpenShift. So help me cut down on some of the stuff. See, Red Hat. Nope. How about Linux? All right. So when I type in Linux, this is what I pull back from their website. E-trading income application security engineer, senior automation developer, and they're probably looking at the titles. Engineer the third, big data automation engineer, an IT architect, right? Oh, let me blow it up a little bit more because it's small there for you. There you go. Software engineer, that's a co-op. Understand the difference between a co-op and an internship, right? So again, that's just me typing in Linux on TD Bank and seeing what they have for jobs. There you go. Right. So we had KubeCon, we got Red Hat, of course, all the vendors, your Dell, your AWS, your HP, your micro systems, anybody, HP, Dell, Mac, Apple, Microsoft, Google, Azure, GitLab, GitHub, any of the security companies, they all have conferences. They all have conferences. So, GitLab conference. Knowledge 25, May 6th through the 8th. That's ServiceNow. NVIDIA has their conference March 17th to the 25th. GitLab has a hackathon coming up on the 23rd. They have an AI and DevOps hands-on workshop. Here's their events that they're actually putting on. And you can go join their events. Join us. That's what it says right there. Join us. Future of Tech Conference Leap in Saudi Arabia. Visit GitLab at the GCP stand at Leap. All right. DevSecOps World, GitLab at KubeCon, GitLab at Google, GitLab at the RSA convention, right? Here's GitLab Summit, right? They're all their previous events and presentations. So GitLab, GitHub is another one. So let's talk about on the other side. We got Render ATL, right? So we got Render coming up in Atlanta, June the 11th through the 13th. The Carnival Code is coming to Atlanta in 2025. Right? Who's gonna speak? Who's gonna do what? Kelsey, I guess is speaking again. Harold Hughes, Jack Harrington, Kent C, blah blah blah, so forth and so on. Right? Fly with Delta Airlines, partnership, stay in Atlanta, lead generation and recruiting, learning and development, business development demonstrations, team building, electric car networking, so forth. Block house, don't miss the house block party and exhibits. That's render ATL, right? There's also, of course, Afrotech as well. Also there for the other ones, there is the Black is Tech conference. It's usually held in Houston. So Black is Tech. I'm not sure when he's gonna do it. He's been last minute lately, so I don't know. He kind of hit me at the last minute. He said he's never leaving anywhere. He's gonna always do it in Houston. So Black is Tech conference in Houston. Uh, Shout out to Journey to Jasmine. She came to see me speak at the Black is Tech conference in Houston. So I've spoken there. We also spoke at GovTech for Simone Bees. I'll probably be picking back up my speaking travel again this year. One of the big things when I started Women in Linux, and I just saw the immediate gap between black women and black men, and I didn't see anything targeted towards black men as far as conferences go. So there is black men in tech conference, and I wanted to start one a while back. So here's Black Men in Tech conference. That should be coming up soon, if not already. Let me look and see if he's got it out here yet. No, he don't have one. I guess they got one. They're based out of, I think they're based out of Chicago. Black men in tech. I think they're based out of Chicago. Don't get me the line. On that one. So let me look. They have this one here, Black Men in Tech Thrive Conference. So here we go. Where is Thrive presented by? It's in Fort Lauderdale at the Westin. Engineer for Success for your community, Black Men in Tech. So you can go check this out. There's a Thrive Conference for connecting and learning and advancing your tech career. Is designed to foster connections, facilitate learning, promote professional development for all in the tech community, especially from the black male experience. So you can go check this out for those of you that are in Fort Lauderdale and wondering like what's going on. Go check it out. They have one coming up. There is also let me see if this will render for me. Oh, okay. And you all can go check this out as well too. Black Men in Tech is a hub that brings black tech founders and investors. It's in Miami. Black Men Tech Talk Tech. You can check this out. Here is the Black Innovation Alliance. Y'all can go check this out as well too. There is also, and this is the conundrum for between a lot of tech conferences. So, this one gotta go on the big screen. So, oftentimes we'll see that hey, we're having a Black Tech conference, and this is what the issue was that started out with Afrotech. Afrotech, it was immediately in the beginning, it was, yeah, we're talking about Black tech, but you're actually literally talking about people who have created brands. And that's how it got started. It had in the beginning, it had nothing to do with us folks over here that are building out data centers or working in high performance computing or building or just your everyday help desk, your everyday security engineer, not GRC, just really a hands-on keyboard pen tester, or someone that's actually and working in storage and using NetApp and sands and so forth to build out companies. It wasn't a thing. So a lot of people get this gloss over, like, yeah, I work in tech, and then you ask them what they do, and then they were like, well, I do this in tech, and you were like, oh, well, okay, I get it, but all right, we're gonna say this tech, right? So it's this. There is a form, if you want to say, of tech elitism. There is a form of tech elite. Do you do tech or do you do tech? Like, what do you really do, right? And I'm sure you all have come across this, right? I'm sure you have come across this, the tech elitism that goes on. But now the question is, with the tech elitism that goes on, are we pushing people towards further separation? Or are we building a community? What does that look like, right? So I've also brought this up as well. Atlanta Technology News. I am a subscriber to the Business Journal. I'm not telling you to subscribe to them. I am just telling you um this is just what I follow, because I'm looking for trends, I'm looking for where things are going to be. So, okay, let's start with Atlanta, and we're going to stick with it this, and I'll switch to different cities. Atlanta tech firm raises $100 million. Who is that Atlanta tech firm that raised $100 million? Let me get signed in so we can talk about it, right? Let me get signed in. Next. And yep. And sign in. Okay. Oh, that's my notes. Where's it? Where did it go? Oh, well, let's go here. Oh, wait a minute. Let me find it. I just had it. Did it come apart? There you go. All right. All right. So Atlanta firm raises 100 million. I'm just gonna go through headlines real quick, and then I'll go back up. And let me blow it up a little bit. All right. Atlanta tech firm raises 100 million. Who is that? We'll find out. I talked about the $11 billion that's gonna be invested in Georgia. But there's also a $17 billion data center project being pitched in Coweta County. I'll come back to it, right? Hackers broke into the treasury through an Atlanta company. Atlanta tech firm buys time with the New York Stock Exchange. Data centers energy could triple. So again, what does that look like? Robotics company raises 28 million. Startup bought a construction tech firm. Data firm acquisition to stop deep fakes, and a manufacturing AI firm raises $120 million. All right, let's scroll back up. This is just Atlanta technology news. I'm just reporting on this one. For right now, we'll switch cities. So, what firm was that raised $100 million? Atlanta payroll software company firm raises $100 million. The Atlanta based payroll software company OnPay raised $100 million in additional funding through a combination of venture investment and debt, right? So the Atlanta company, whose investors include Carrick Capital, serves over 25,000 small to medium sized businesses, right? So I will be going to look at this company OnPay in Atlanta because they just raised 100 million and they may need jobs. They may be offering jobs, right? So the $17 billion that's being pitched in Coweta County. Let's go. Data center, right? Project would rise near Newman. I don't know why they keep telling me about my subscription because I am subscribed. But let's go and look at another. It's called Project Sale in Coweta County. So let's backdoor that. Um, Project Sale. All right. $17 billion campus proposed in South Atlanta. Everybody want me to sign up. I don't want to sign up. AGC won't want me to sign up, but WSB shouldn't want me to sign. Good. All right, let's look at it. According to development impact record submitted by Atlas Development, the data center and the campus is called Project Cell. If completed, boasts an estimated yearly tax revenue for Coweta County. The plans submitted by the Atlanta Development for Constructions include 13 buildings, 378,000 square feet plus substations for the data center. Should this project go according to their plans, the company estimates the bill will be complete by December 31st of 2036. Right? 2036. They said similarly estimated revenue for 2025 fiscal year in Coweta County was 112 million. It says that the estimated revenue for Project Sale, if it moves forward, will be 1 billion, 1.5 billion. That means the project sale would be responsible for 14.2 times the projected tax revenue for the fiscal year. Documents from the development impact and the plans did not provide details on the number, on how that number was reached, but the state of Georgia tax revenues for property taxes are generally calculated at 40% of the market value. It said for easy math, 17 billion for easy math, a $17 billion property would generate less than 1% of its market value. So for the market value, it would be less than 170 million in property taxes. That would be shared between the county, school, and fire district, and so forth. All right, so Coweta County, all right, Coweta County. So now this is where y'all go. Um, map GA. All right, so Coweta is here. This is where it's at. If you want to look at that in relation to the city of Atlanta, let's see. Let me go back out here. Cut me in a little bit. Well, let me back out. You see where Atlanta is at in reference to here. All right, so let's go look at Coweta. Peachtree City. I know a lot of y'all have heard of Peachtree City. Noonan, but they're looking to generate money out in that area. Palmetto. My grandmother used to work out there. All of this around here. All right, so now, if we want to be, let's do this. Let's do Redfin. All right. So let's go home types and let's go strictly with land. All right, and then let's go list, and let's go from low to high. All right, so 0.23 acres, 1.3 acres, 19, 0.23, 25. This house shows up for some odd reason. I don't know why this house is showing up here. Does it live on does it have a bunch of acres? No. So I don't know why it showed up. But it's $110,000 if you want to live in the Noonan area. All right, so now just for shits and giggles, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go look at houses. Move land. Done. Let's filter average 3 bedroom, 2.5 bath. Done. And let's go from high to low. So on the high side, 3 million, 2.7, 2.5. And you can see how big the houses are on the lake. 3-car garage, stairwell, 3.2, right? Let's go back. 8,300 square feet. All right, so now 1.7443, 1.6, 6,700 square feet, 1.8 lot, 1.6, 1.6. Now let's get down here. I'm gonna go down 4 pages. All right, so this is what is 600, 700, right? 2,900 square feet. This is what, no, I don't want to sign in. So this is like a barn style house. Not bad on the look. But that's what you're getting out in this area. So looking at where it's at in reference to the data centers, what they're building, what that looks like. And I have it right here. And what they're and where they're building it at and what's coming into their area. 17 billion, 13 proposes 13 data center buildings and so forth, and where the people got to eat, live, sleep, work, the same thing. So this is how you go and buy the land. Now, again, let's back it up. Economic development. What is their economic development? What is the plan for the next couple of years, next 10 years? 30-minute drive to the airport, 6 access points, a 40-minute drive to the city of Atlanta. They don't include traffic, so go ahead and double that. That's not including traffic. Go on and double that. But imagine if you had jobs in your area, you wouldn't leave your area. All right, the average household income is 100,000. Total population of 148. An average household income of 100,000. You don't see that often. You don't see that often. Right? So now you got to ask what's in the area. Right? What's in the area? Right? And again, I tell you, people will drive for where they want peace at. Right? So now you got to ask, well, what companies are out there, or what companies are coming out there? All right. Companies and so now we're getting deeper. Look, with 18 international companies making it their home, Coweta County is becoming a hub for global industry. So Germany, France, Sweden, England, all the 18 international companies that work out there. So now you get into, well, what are incentives are they using to attract these people, these companies in this area? So business, you go through the business director, you start looking at the chamber of commerce and so forth, right? That's where you start looking into, like, what's happening in that area, right? So let's go down here. The biggest companies to work for in Noonan County. All right, manufacturing, an aluminum company, the school district, probably. I don't know. This is one of those foreign companies here. A manufacturing electric company, Casson Casson Industries, they're another manufacturing company. Hitachi, another manufacturing company, utilities, and so forth. So they got manufacturing on lot. Now the question is, how much are these people who live in these, who working at these manufacturing companies, getting paid? So now the question becomes is, what can you build tech wise in this area to keep the money there? If the average income, an average household is 100,000, that's a lot. Let's see, average household in Loudoun County. It's back in DC. I mean, Virginia. So the median household in Loudoun County is 156,000. It's the highest in the United States. It's in Virginia. Coweta County is averaging 100,000. I mean, they're far behind by 56,000, but you can see what I'm making my comparison to. My comparison is what's in the county that's causing people to have households at 100,000. We just looked at the median wealth for black people was at 44,000 for a household. They're averaging 100. Loudoun County is averaging 156,000. And on top of that, they got less people in the county. They only got 150,000 in the county. Loudoun County got 440,000. What's happening is what should be the questioning in that county, and what's drawing, and what's the land look like for me to buy. That's the goal. So remember when we talked about that man who had $6 million in income generating real estate? This is what that looks like, right? Buying an apartment building in that area, buying a duplex in the area, or a triplex in the area. You don't have to look at houses. You can go out here and buy a triplex in the area, right? Um, let's look at I think Zillow probably has a better one, but let's see. Um, maybe we'll do it this way. Yeah, yeah. I want triplexes and duplexes. Let's go from low to high. So 800,000 for this may be a triplex, a multifamily home, 1 million for that one. 469, that's at auction. 125 for a multifamily, 125, 140. And you may have to find some off market deals. You may have to get in touch with um a real estate agent in the area and find some off market deals. But here, 800,000. Let's see how many doors does it have. Central air, show more. 2 levels, no deck, 1 acre, multifamily. It's not giving me the number of doors. That's what I was looking for. How many doors on this property? Because we got one, And then we got this back door, but we got this upstairs and downstairs here. I don't know, look like it might be anywhere from 4 to 6. Because we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably 6 parking spaces. So maybe a 6 unit or something like that. Then you got to go look at the average of rents and so forth in that area and go from there. Put a one in the chat if you're keeping up with what I'm putting down. Y'all been quiet. I had to check your temperature, see if you keeping up. All right. So that was in Coweta County. Again, why is the average household in Coweta County 100,000? Which brings me to my last little point, and we'll get out of here. Largest or highest average household income in Georgia. All right. So Johns Creek is 159,000. And then we got the other cities. 133,000 for Alpharetta. Druid Hills 137. Decatur, which is probably the city of Decatur, 123. Milton 136 and Berkeley Lake 138. It says the median household in Georgia in 2023 was 72,000. To be in the 1% in Georgia, you need to earn 709,000 annually. Yeah, I know they got a town hall. They brought it back. They brought it back up. Yep, they brought. I saw that. But what I'm trying to show you all is from the beginning of the conversation that we had is there's nothing wrong with you going to work a job and using the money from your job to generate wealth for you to buy assets. Whether you invest in a data center, whether you invest in stocks, whether you invest in a startup or you invest in a duplex or a townhome or whatever the case, whatever real estate venture you go down, whatever tech venture you go down, it's nothing wrong with having working for your money and then have that money work for you, right? If I can bring home and have an extra $5,000 that I put aside and then have another $2,000 that I go invest or $3,000 that I go invest, there's nothing wrong with that, right? And a lot of you are like, man, I don't even make $2,000 a month. Well, you can make more than that, and I can show you how, right? I put out the path on that, right? So, if you want to look at average income in Georgia, that's fine. You can also look at average income in let's go with Texas. Let's go with the places where we got the highest population of black people. So Redfield is a city in Texas with the highest mean household income at 600,000. Other cities with household incomes include Piney Point, Westlake, and Hunters Creek Village. And then they say here's some of the other zip codes: 250, 215, 188, 189. I'll put you on par with Virginia. We'll go up here and do Virginia real quick, and then we'll come back out. Median household income at 142,000, which is 91.7% higher than the state median, and 126% higher than the national average. This is what I always talk about. People are like, "Oh my goodness, it's 100,000," but if you live in the DMV area, it tells you right here, and you can go fight. You can go fight, but you can't fight stats. You can't fight numbers. Households earning over 100,000 in the Virginia area is 67.2%, the highest rate in the country. Households earning less than 15,000 is 2.5%. Your $100,000 is gonna get ate up in the DMV area. I'm just sorry. Nobody wants you. Nobody want to tell you the truth. Well, I tell you the truth. The richest zip code in Virginia is in 22066 with an average household income of $374,000 and 16,000 people, roughly 17, according to the most current census data. 374,000, right? So let's go with Florida. All right, Florida cities and counties. Florida with high household incomes. Fisher Island has household income of over 250,000. I'm talking about jobs that paying you 200, 250,000, 300,000. Their median household income is 250. You on par with folks that live on Fisher Island. Not to say that you can go buy on Fisher Island. I'm just saying your income at 300,000 ain't a bad look. It's all right. A city, Gulfstream, a city with a house with median household income of 250. A city with a median household of 246, Golden Beach. I guess Manila Pan, 193, St. John's 88, 71, and then it says the city high. They just kind of didn't give me numbers after this, but there you go. And then it says the median household income in Florida in 2022 was 67. That's less than the U.S. Census Bureau reports that's less than 10% of households in Florida, which earn more than 200,000. Right. So when we talk about these incomes, I'm talking about, hey, you get to the 250 mark. Can you maintain that for the next 10 years? And when I say maintain it for the next 2 years, meaning if you move to your next job, you don't go below 250. Imagine maintaining 250 for the next 10 years, 300 for the next 10 years. I'm not saying you're not going to get a pay raise. I'm just saying imagine maintaining that for the next 10 years. Imagine maintaining 300,000 for the next 10 years. What does that look like? Imagine if you and your wife are maintaining a household of 250,000 for the next 10 years. That's 500,000 for the next 10 years. Now you multiply by 500,000 times 10, that's 5 million. You don't think between you and your wife, y'all can't be at least around about 2 to 4 million, give or take? You don't think you can do that? Okay. I don't know why y'all don't. I'm gonna keep my mouth closed. I ain't gonna do it. And the other places that y'all like to move to is NYC. The mean income is 512, 497 for this zip code, 468 for this zip code, 450 for this zip code. The average income for the top 5% earners in New York is 746,000. The median household income in New York is 82. It says the area median income AMI for the New York City greater region in 2023 was 127,000 for a family of 3. And then you can go here income by zipcode.com. Let's go here. And let's put in 332. It's a Georgia zip code. Oh, y'all want me to pay? I ain't paying for nothing. We'll stick with what you gave me. And let's go here, richest zip codes. All right. This is for New York when they pull back the richest zip code. Excuse me. So richest zip codes in the United States. Here we go. Here are the richest zip codes in the United States. And here's an article out here. These are the highest prices zip codes in the United States. So you can go play around with this and look up numbers, and then look at what those people in the area, look at what companies in the area, where do they work at, where do they live, what are the schools offering to the students, and so forth and so on. You said if people are making low six figures and living paycheck to check, most people won't be able to manage high incomes range you're reviewing. That's not true, because what you're assuming is people who are living paycheck to paycheck is they're living above their means if they're making six figures. Let's put your theory to a check. Let's be engaging. All right. So if you live in, let's say, the DMV area, right? And let's say you live in Virginia, and we're just gonna go with it's the average rents in, we'll say, Arlington. So by you saying that, right? When I'm just gonna put it out here. So we got Arlington. The average rent for 740 square foot apartment is 2342. Now, you'll say you don't have to live in Arlington. Okay. In the DMV area, most of the jobs that people commute to are in Virginia or in DC, unless they're working at Fort Meade or some base, or they are working at one of the triple letter agencies off of 295. But most people commute to Virginia. And I'm being nice with Arlington because there's still Chantilly, there's still Ashburn, there's still Tyson's, there's still what's the one that started with the H? Just forgot it off the top of my head. Herndon, right? Most people travel to those jobs, so you gotta include commute, right? So we'll stick with 2342. So let's pull up our calculator, right? And if you make $100,000 a year, and you multiply, because you in Virginia, y'all got state and federal. So I'm just gonna multiply by 0.7. After taxes, that's 70,000. And then let's divide that by 12. So that's 5833 a month that you're gonna take home. That's on 100,000. So let's go with 5833. 5833 minus your 20. I'll round up to keep numbers simple here. 2,400. Right? You're left with 433. I'll even say that you don't even buy a car. Let's say you commute every month. let's say you commute every month. Okay. Let's say you commute every month, you get a bus pass. or whatever the case may be. Average commute cost um in Virginia on bus and train. Give me some numbers to work with here. All right, so let me tell you what numbers I'm pulling back. Let me show you. It says on a 1 day unlimited pass is 13.15, but your monthly unlimited pass is $216. So for the month, that's $216. So I'm gonna just go with that. 216. Right. Your food costs, because you gotta eat, right? Food costs for the month in Virginia. So it says that the average, this is what it says. Now you tell me if this right or wrong. It says the average food cost is around $311 per month for one person. I don't believe that for nothing. I don't believe it costs just to go to the grocery store for the whole month for $311. I'm not buying that. I'm gonna round up. I'm gonna say it's gonna cost you 500. So minus 500. You ain't got no car. Oops. 58.33 minus 2,400 minus 5 minus 216. All right, that's 27. That's 20. Great. I'm just going. You saying they living paycheck to paycheck? I'm just saying to you that the 583 that you get back for the month, 2,400 gone. I ain't included your lights and your cable. I'm gonna say lights and internet, and just say you don't get no cable. Your lights and your internet. We're gonna go ahead and put in lights, internet, and cell phone. I'm gonna minus another $300. I'm being I'm being nice. I'm saying you got a Metro phone. I'm I'm saying you got a cricket phone. I'm saying you sleep by candlelight. You go in your house, you light candles. You don't turn on no lights. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Now we at 2417, right? I'm trying to make this work. I'm trying to show you. I already know. I already know. I already know Alexandria is expensive. I've lived in Alexandria. I've lived in Tyson's. I've lived all throughout the area. I know what the numbers are. And I know how far $100,000 can go. You blink, you go, you and if you're a woman, forget about it. Toiletries, I didn't include all of that. Let me go ahead and talk about your personal hygiene, your toiletries, your haircuts, your hair, your nails, all of that. Let me go on and just drop in another 600. I don't know. Depending on the person, I'm gonna drop in 600 on that. You still ain't saved. You still ain't put no money away for savings, right? So you still got to put money away for savings. I didn't take out money for your 401k in this at all. They ain't no because if I took out money for your 401k pre-tax, it wouldn't even be this. So we're gonna start over and we're gonna take out your money for your pre-tax, right? So you got $100,000 as you get paid. If you max out your 401k and your HSA, it's about 27,000 pre-tax, right? Pre-tax. Now your true income right here. And then you divide that by 12. This really what you bringing home. It's 42.58. Go on and subtract that 2,400 off. Go ahead and subtract that 500 for food. Everybody's saying that's too low. I'm just playing numbers here. Let's go on and subtract off your 500 for food, 500 for your nails, hair, and all whatever, whatever. Right? Eight $800. And this is the conversation that gotta be had. Everybody is like, oh, you make $100,000 and you live paycheck to paycheck. You don't know how to budget your money. That's a lie. Let me tell you. What y'all don't include is what I just did. Y'all do this. You do $100,000 and you multiply that by 0.7, and you say you can't live off of what it come out to be 583. And some of y'all don't even do this. Some of y'all do this. This is crap me the hell up. Y'all do this and then you divide it by 12. You mean to tell me you can't make it off of 8,000, 8,800, I mean 8,333,000 a month? 800, I mean $8,333 a month. That's what y'all do. Y'all multiply that by, y'all divide it by 12. That's your gross income. That ain't after taxes. You don't live on gross, you live on after taxes. So you ain't even got there yet. What you really need to be doing is really what you should be doing, and this is why I always push back to the 200,000. You need to take off your 27,000 off the rip, because that's your money that's gonna bring down your taxable income, and that's the money that you're gonna be. That's the money you're gonna actually be investing into yourself for you to have after all of this, right? This really your real money. This really what you looking at. That's really what you looking at. So that's why I say when you say you make $100,000, you just might as well go and cut that shit in half and then divide that by, and then multiply that by 0.7. Well, don't even multiply that by 0.7, just divide that by 12. That's really what your take home is. That's really what your take home. If you make $100,000 just to make the math real easy for yourself, cut it in half, and that'll be your take home. If you get more than that, cool. You overcompensated, right? This really what you look like. This really what it is. So when I be telling y'all about going to make $200,000, right? I'm really telling you divide that in two, and this really what you looking at. And divide that by 12. That's really what you gonna see. And listen, now you can come talk to me. Because now you do the math. Don't talk to me about $100,000 and how you be living paycheck to paycheck, and that people are not budgeting correctly. Because I know you ain't live. I know you. This one I know you ain't made $100,000. This how I know you ain't made 100,000. Right? Because when you start making that $100,000, you were like, you trust me. You made the $100,000. You like, what is the song say? She don't want a little puppy, she want a big dog. You think you big dogging at 100,000? You walking in, you got your chest out, you got your hand. You like, who want it with me? I'm out here, got my 100,000. You can't see me. They can't see me. They can't see me. They don't see me. I'm crispy. I'm short. I got my hair lined up. I got my little junk on. I got my fragrance on. I'm coming in. I'm shimmying my shoulders. I'm ready. I'm a big dog. I'm stepping on the scene. And then you get that first paycheck, and you live in the DMV, and you look at your rent, and your rent is like this. Your rent hit you like this. Let me tell you how the rent hit you in the DMV. $2,500 off the rip, gone. Huh, ho, you want to stump? Oh, go ahead and add on another $100 for your lights, maybe two. You need a specialty parking spaces. What? You gotta pay for parking? $75. Oh, you want valet trash? Oh, you want the valet trash? Another $20. Okay. You want to live in an area where you got to commute to work or whatnot or what have you. Let's go ahead, average car note. We throw it out there and say car note, car insurance, and everything. You probably paying on average, depending on the car, depending on what you get, 700. That's $33.95 right there. It's gonna cost you 3,500. It costs you 3,500 just to lay down and go to sleep, to get up and go to work. Do you want to stay in a gated community? Don't let that's prison. You pay 125 for two cars in your parking garage. Exactly, 125, $75 off the rip. You want a parking space? You need space because you need a garage. You don't want your car in the snow because you don't want to get outside and have to shake the car, get the ice off the car. You don't want to have to worry about getting the snow off the car. Oh yeah, you're gonna have to pay for that. It's gonna cost you. It's gonna cost you. You want to go to Wegmans, Harris Teeter, Whole Foods. You want to live where you can commute and you got restaurants around you. Oh, anytime you got some high end restaurants around you, you might as well give it up for the band. Average apartment cost in Tyson's Corner is from 2465 to 2875, and that's on the low end. Them the apartments that people live in, and they old. They ain't got all the new amenities. They ain't got all the new stuff. They ain't got all. They don't have the Starbucks in there or the Whole Foods downstairs. They don't have that. This is rent. I'm talking about rent. I'm talking about this your rent. I ain't talking about this your house. I'm talking about this your rent. The cost of rent varies depending on several factors: the location, the size, the quality. Tyson's, you can expect to pay $2,100 per month for a studio, $2,400 for a bedroom, and if you want a 2-bedroom, $3,500 out the gate, off the door. But you stomping in because you're a big dog with your 100K. You a big dog. No, use a pup. Use a pup. Use a baby. Use a baby. Use a newborn pup. In the DMV, yeah, it's gone. Out the door. You ain't no big dog. Don't nobody care about your 100K. They gonna be like, do you have another source of income that you can put down on your application? Maybe you're getting child support, or maybe you're getting income from, well, you're prior military. Are you retired, getting a little income there? Oh, okay. You wanna put it on another little source of income. We really want to put the best foot forward before we send this out. Got another source? You have another source of income that you want to put on here? No? You have another source? No. It's gonna look hard here. It's gonna be hard for us to get you approved there. We're not even gonna run this. We're not gonna run this through yet. Let's see if we can gather up another source. before we push this through. Okay. Thank you for coming by, Miss Williams. Thank you for coming by. We really appreciate you. Let's take a tour of the property as we walk out here to the right, and you see here's our Amazon lockers. Yes, and if you walk down the hallway, we also have a little pet area. Uh-huh. We have a sauna and a jacuzzi. We also have a gym, and we also have trainers in the gym. So if you really want to come in and get some work done and get your workout, we have that. We also have a little location. We know that a lot of people like to work from home. We also have a little area up here where you can go and sit down. And if you want to, you can work from here. Yeah, everything. We have food trucks that come out here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We do have food trucks. Yes. But if you want this, you're gonna need another source. Gonna need another source from you, another source of income from you. Yes. Not too much, maybe an extra $1,000 a month so we can pull you through. Yeah. Oh, you want to live on the third floor. You want a view? And oh, okay, you want a view and you want to see the sunrise. Or you want to catch the sun. That's going to cost you for the sunrise. And it's going to cost you for the sunset. Uh-huh. Yeah. So this is our north facing of the building. This is our south facing of the building. Here's our east and here's our west. You want a view? It's going to cost you, ma'am. You may need two more sources of income. You know what I mean? Bullshit. That 100,000 ain't gonna get you nothing. Try to tell you. Oh, you want a view? You wanna see the sun? You want lights beaming in for your flowers? You got a little garden that you're doing? Or you got little plants? You got a little hydroponics? You got a little this? Ma'am, we're gonna need some more money from you. You gotta have 3 times the rent. 3 times. So if we're talking about a 2 bedroom, right, at 3,500 a month, that's just Tyson's. Let's go and take you over here to Chantilly. All right, Chantilly, 2551. If you want a 1 bedroom, if you want a studio, it's 2262. If you want a 1 bedroom, it's 251,000. If you want a 3 bedroom, a 2 bedroom is 2,900. And if you want a 3 bedroom with 1,500 square feet, that's 3,886. The studio in Tyson in Chantilly is 2,262. Okay. You say, Tameika, I ain't gotta live out in Tyson's. I listen, when I'm talking about these places, here's some considerations, right? Let's talk about it. Because I don't think y'all understand what I'm talking about. Okay, so why am I picking these places? Number one, I'm picking places where if you get fired from a job, you can find another job right in the area. That's a consideration that you got to consider, right? You need to find a job you need to find a location where you can get a job in the area. That costs. So you don't have to commute. I'm trying to cut your commute, right? You got to think about it. If you spend an hour to an hour and a half one way going to work and an hour and a half one way going back, you've spent most of your life that year in a car to go to work. So what can we do to stop that, right? So this is why I'm picking these areas: Chantilly, Ashburn, Alexandria, Arlington. If you're in the DMV area, This is those areas that oftentimes that you're gonna always find a job in that area. Now you say, Tameika, huh? I don't mind a commute. I love a good commute. I can listen to my audiobook. I can get my mind ready. I can do this and I can do that. Okay. All right. Okay. I hear you. What's the wear and tear on your body? What's the wear and tear on your car? You going to I know a lot of people that do it. They wake up in the morning at 5 o'clock in the morning. They out of the house by 6. They at work by 8. They trying to get out of there before traffic hit, or they at work by 7. They need to be out of there by 2 or 3. If they not out of there by 2 or 3, they're going to die, because they know going on their way home, because they're going all the way back across the connector. They got to go back 495. They got to go over the bridge. They got to go over 2 bridges. They got to pass. You got to go. You got to pass. You got to come from Virginia. You got to pass the casino to keep going, because you on that side of Maryland, or you on the DC side of Maryland. You got to come out. You got to go back in. Again, those commute. I don't know about y'all, but you get an hour and a half every single day. You get tired of that real quick. It's cute in the beginning because you like, I got my cheap rent. I ain't gotta pay for parking. And then you realize that you spending all this time, when you leave it's dark, when you get home it's dark. Then you got to worry about how much gas you putting in your car. Then y'all looking, now you're on gas, but they're trying to figure out where you going to get your gas at. Who got the cheapest gas? What time do I leave? You treating your life like hopscotch. Let me tell you how you treating your life by with hopscotch. Because now you waking up in the morning and you like, if I leave now, I ain't gonna catch that morning traffic. So I gotta leave here by 6:30. No later than 6:30. If I leave out of here by 6:30, then I'll be okay. And then I get to work, and then I boom, boom, boom. But if I leave work by 4 o'clock, it's a wrap. Where I gotta go to get my gas? Okay, now let's go ahead and take the next level. Let's go to the next level. The next level is, what do I eat? Because now I got my commute. What I eat is based on my commute. What I eat is based on my commute. What, Tamika, what you talking about? If you don't food prep on Saturdays and Sundays, by the time you get home at 6, 7 o'clock at night, and it's time to cook, you are tired. So you do quick meals. The quick meals are, let me stop at Kroger, let me stop at Harris Teeter and grab some chicken, and I can put the sides together. Let me stop here and do X, Y, and Z. Oh, tonight it's gonna be smoothie night. But if you got kids, if you got kids, or you got a person in the household that got a healthy appetite, the smoothie is a snack. The smoothie is a snack. Though I still want the meal. What we gonna eat? Right? I'm just reporting to you all, like, you got to figure out the areas that have the money and the jobs, and try to stay in the areas. Now, here's where the pushback is going to be at. Ain't enough black people in them areas. You trying to get us to move our black areas where they communicate, where they're convenient for us, where I can go down the street. I know I can get some good chicken. I know I can get some good liver from over here, some oxtails from over here. I know I can go if I want to have, as Jess Hilarious say, oh, not Jess Hilarious, but Jesse Wu say, I know I can go down the street and I can get me some hookah. So what she say? Some hookah, some hookah, some lamb chops, and some potatoes down the street. I know I can go down the street and get some hookah, some lamb chops, and all that. Now you're taking me out of my black areas, Tameika. Now you're making me live in these white areas where we increasing their property value, where we're increasing their income, where we're increasing that. Oh yeah, some Hennessy. What? Okay. So we got to have a trade off here, because we're still talking about you getting some rest. We're still talking about your commute, and we're still talking about you still living paycheck to paycheck. I don't know what y'all talking about. 100,000, you still gonna live paycheck to paycheck to paycheck in the DMV. And if you're not careful, you living paycheck to paycheck in Atlanta, you living paycheck to paycheck in Texas, you living paycheck to paycheck in Florida, you damn sure living paycheck in California, you damn sure living paycheck to paycheck in New York. You're gonna have to have some skills that's gonna pay some bills, and you need to get that money up. And that 200,000 is the minimum. And I don't want to hear nothing else. Somebody's gonna come in and say, after this show, they're gonna be like, Tameika, you foolish woman, you're talking about 100,000 as if only more black people get to it. It's only 6% of the black people that can get to 100 that make 100,000, which comes out in correlation to be about 1.8 million. But my question is, how do we get more people making more money? How do we get more people making 100,000? I'm talking about 200. Let's go. 200K is the minimum. Why we talking? Why we arguing? Why we bickering? Why we tongue wrestling back and forth? Let's go. What we doing? You got rent. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at Chantilly rent at 386, damn near 4,000 for a 3-bedroom, 3,000 for a 2-bedroom. Let's go to Alexandria. The average rent in Alexandria is 2,000. This is 30% higher than the national average. Average rent by neighborhood. They got it by neighborhood. 2204. You can probably do okay in Alexandria. But they lying to y'all. I've been to Alexandria. That average rent that average rent that they talking about, it may not be a good look. May not be somewhere you want to stay. Come on, I get it. You either you got it or you don't. I agree. These rents ain't going down. I ain't never seen a rent go from 2,600 back down to 2,000. I ain't never seen that. Right? I ain't never seen that. And they like Landmark Van Dorn, where the average rent is 2018. But who want to live off of Van Dorn over there in Landmark? You don't want to live over there. Most people don't want to live over there. I want to live over there. It's like, Tameika, why you say it like that? Okay. Those that know that's in the Virginia area know what I'm talking about. They've upgraded a little bit. But then you get into these apartments like this. This is what I remember of Landmark Van Dorn area. I don't like these apartments. I don't want to live like this. Coming soon, a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, 1,084 square feet, 274,000. I don't want to live over here like that. I don't like living like that. I don't want to live over there like that. Because what happens once one apartment get roaches, we all got roaches. Mm-mm. Nope. I don't want to live in the Van Dorn apartments. I know exactly where they at. Right up there on the side. No. Not interested. This is what they look like over there in Van Dorn. Can you imagine being the Uber Eats driver and having delivered to here? I don't want to do that. Nope. And then these what the townhomes look like. This is one little piece right here. This little corner is 700,000. This little corner. West Glebe. I just want to show you something. West Glebe last sold in 2024 for 820,000. I remember when these got built, they got built and they were 600,000. That was in 2011. Look at your backyard. This your house. It's a damn near $1 million. 2,600 square feet. Right here. I remember when they built these. What they going for now? It was 600 back then. They don't have what they got. What they going for? You can rent now. It was expensive. Yeah, these all through here, all through Alexandria, Del Rey, all of that stuff. All that stuff is expensive. Houses, Del Rey, Virginia. Seven. Look at this house. 799. 799 for that house. 800,000 for that house. 2.29 million. 298, 895,000. So again, you a man, you want to have a place for you and your wife and your children to have a house or a home. You living in Virginia, you living in the DMV area. Where you going? Most people go to Maryland. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Farida. That gave me Cabrini Green. You right. That's how I was like, I don't want to live in that. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. This what it looked like. And I know exactly what it's at. This on the corner right down there. I just passed them the other day when I was up there. This is what your 1.2 million can look like. You don't get no yard. I bet you get one parking space. And it's on the street. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,600, 2,608. You get 2 parking spaces. You get 2 parking spaces. You got an HOA fee of 198. What's around here? Well, in this area, if we go look at the street view, around here is where they're building up. I know exactly where these are at. So you got to you're in walking distance to some other stuff. I need to get back to the main street. This on that backside of the industrial. Come back down here. Let's go down the main street here. Back to route Highway 1. Oh, that ain't Highway 1. That's something else. Richmond. Yeah. Yeah, that's Highway 1. Okay. I went crazy. Like they should be right down there by Highway 1. But you're inconvenience of other stuff on Route 1. So Route 1, that long route, you'll get everything. Yeah, Target, Amazon Fresh. It's a couple of grocery stores, Men's Warehouse, a couple of I think the Porsche dealership is over there when I was just passing it. You're down the street from Crystal City. Go McCormick and Spence and eat. You can go to Rue Chris at the top down there. A couple other restaurants you can go down there and live it up. You're not that far, right? Yeah, the whole train station, all that over there. So you pay for convenience. But here's the kicker: if I lost my job at Amazon, I could still get a job in the same area. That's my point. Now, can we have black areas like this? Absolutely. But you're gonna have to do what I did today. You're gonna have to go down to the economic development. You're gonna have to buy the actual you're gonna have to buy the actual land. You're gonna develop your own stuff. You're gonna have to help bring in jobs in that area. You're gonna have to bring in people with education. You're gonna have to educate people. You're gonna have to do every single thing. Somebody's got to go to work and somebody got to build a business. Somebody got to build a business and somebody got to train them. That's the only way you're gonna do it. That's the only way you're gonna do it. If not, you're gonna always be sitting aside wondering, like, why am I still broke at it and I make 100,000? Why am I still broke and I make 150? You're gonna have to take what's given because you get all the free education that's out here. Y'all get all the free education. You get all the free training. You get all the scholarships. You get all the YouTube channels that's teaching you stuff. You get all the Udemy classes. You even got you can even get like a little micro college degree. You got WGU, you got stuff specific to tech. It's no one in the hell that everybody on this stream should not be making a minimum of 100K. There's 80 people on this stream right now. That means if we got 80 people that are making 100K, that's eight. That's a minimum of 800,000. It's $1 million stream. Why can't we do that? Why can't we be that person? So what, they don't like you because you make 100,000? So what, they don't like you because you make 200,000? You said why are these jobs mad that we have to work another job? Yeah, I don't know why they mad because you got to work another job to survive. That's some bullshit. I agree with that. 8 million, my bad. Let them be mad. Make your money. Keep your mouth closed. Put your head down. Yeah, they do make you sign non-competes, but you didn't tell that. Listen, they make you sign non-competes, but that when your ass go work Uber Eats, they don't say nothing. When you go work, when you go delivering packages, they don't say nothing. They got multiple businesses. Keep your head down, keep your neck on a swivel. And if your coworkers start coming to you like, oh girl, I see you on the glow up. Oh girl, I see you boots. I see you boots. You be like, see me? Yes. I bought them for you to see. I bought them for me to wear. I see you boots. I see you glasses. Yeah, I ain't worried about going into the office. The going into the office don't bother me because you're gonna get what you give. You want these eight? Here's your eight. Yeah, we know about PG County. You know, I have my qualms with them because everybody I know that talk about PG County, they's like they put all their kids in private school because they can't send their kids to the public schools in PG County. That's a problem. PG County has been working on getting data centers built over there. Yep. They want to compete against Loudoun County. That's what their goal is. Springfield. Oh, you gotta learn how to do your consulting. You can be on site. You just got to learn how to do your consulting work. You need to find people that gonna work with around your time. We'll talk. We'll talk on Wednesday. I'm not surprised Alaska wants data centers to be built over there. I would want data center. I wanted the information they need it. They got nothing but land out there. Yep. So Springfield, nah, I don't like Springfield. Yeah, it's okay. I get it. I got a friend of mine. She got a company in Springfield. She makes signs in Springfield. Did they ever fix that mall over there? Because that Springfield mall was less desirable, I should say. Did they fix that? Government does have salary caps. So that's why you gotta see, you gotta understand how to make that work for you. Right. So what I mean by that, um, I'm gonna pull it up. Just because you got a salary cap don't mean you don't have a there's an employment that can cap that I can have, right? So I almost got it together. Then we oh no, what happened? Hmm, okay. Uh Too big, but we'll see. Yeah, that's too big. All right. I'm almost ready. Hold on. I'm doing something. I'm gonna bring it over. Okay. Yep, this is fine. You said salary cap. All right. All right. So you were talking about salary cap. Let's talk about this. You all ever seen this before? This ain't nothing new. You watch episode 155. All right. So we're gonna take this right here. Um Starting salary per hour, right? 152.18, right? So there are jobs out there, and this is where this is where the salary cap becomes null and void, right? So we got 152. So we're gonna do let's say for the month you 40 times 4 160. Let's say you may do 180 hours in a month. So 152 times 180. That's what your gross is going to be, right? So let's keep that down. Write that down. 27,000, 360. But because you get paid hourly, you may in a month you may work an additional 40 hours. So that's 220 hours, right? So 220 times that 152. Even though they may salary cap you, they still pay you for the extra hours that you work, right? So now your gross is that 33 440. Even though they may have capped your salary, they don't cap what you can earn, right? So that's the other thing. You all need to find jobs that pay you hourly as a W-2 worker. So any hours that you work extra, you get that money back too. You get paid for those hours. Not salary and I work 60 hours and I don't get paid. Right? So why is that important? So imagine you doing 220 every month, and let's say you did that for 12 months. That's what your real take home is. Well, gross. That's what your real gross is. Right? So let's go back. Let's talk about how we got there. I said you got 152 and you multiply that by 220. And then let's multiply that by 12. That's what your real gross is. So you can cap me, but I'm gonna work. So, how many of y'all have ever had a job that told you that we don't care how many hours you work, just get the job done? They may give you a salary, but they tell you they want you to get the job done. So, again, you got 152 hours. Let's say on average, you supposed to get 186, and you may work. I don't know. Let's say you play it fair. You work 200 hours a week. I mean 200 hours in that month, and then now let's multiply that by 12. That's what your gross is looking like when you take home. Like that's what your gross is. But remember, they hired you on at 12 times. Well, hold on. 152. Probably at 160 a year. Yeah, they probably hired you on something like that. 160 hours a month. So your total take home is that. But you was like, you said I can to get the job done, I can work my hours. So you may not work 8 hours a day. You may work 10, 12 hours a day. So if you did 12 hours a day, that's 4 hours over that. So that's 4 hours times 152. That's 21, 8, not 14. 4 hours times 152. So you do extra 608 hours. I mean $608 a day, right? Extra. So we can just make that 12 times 152. Your daily income is 1824. right? And then if you that's daily, and you got 30 days in a month, well, minus the weekends. Well, you may work a weekend. I'm just throw it out there. 54.72. You may work a weekend. Mm-hmm. I'm reading. Your go over is to go to Tyson's and Pentagon. Which one you like better, Tyson's or Pentagon? I like Tyson's. Pentagon be too crowded for me sometimes. I'm reading the trade secrets. You said, for example, being a partner at a hedge fund, you get carry and your annual millions in your total comp and performance incentives. Yes, and there's some performance incentives on some of these jobs as well too. Who is Michael Anthony? He needs to be blocked. Michael Anthony, that's all you got to contribute. I don't even know who dollar sign MFA book value is. Michael Anthony, you gotta be kidding me. You've been on here a couple 2 weeks in a row. Are you talking about stocks? What we doing? I don't want to block people because I want people to talk, but you're killing me, Michael Anthony. You're killing me, Smalls. All right, I'm about to wrap it up. This is my last hoorah hoorah. Making sure I covered everything on my list. Talked about all the tech conferences, the red hats, all the vendors, the Get Labs, the GitHub verse, all of that stuff. Also, uh when we started talking about yeah, that's the second time we did it. Like you did it on the last show, and I'm like, what is the point? I don't even know what you're talking about. What is your point? What is the purpose? But like I said before, don't let people talk you all out of generating wealth how you see fit for your family, how you see fit to make things meet. Don't be afraid to be in tech. It's only going to get bigger. We're only going to go faster and grow faster. I've given you the $1 billion playbook for Linux. I've given you the edge computing, quantum computing, edge devices, and so forth, even quantum computing as well too, high performance computing. There are billions out there, so it's so much money out there, so much money, so much money. Anytime you see um this, when you see the $1 billion, not just the round table but the consortium for government contracting, that's what you calling them, 850 billion. When you see this right here, y'all need to listen. Palantir and Andrew reportedly led consortium partner with SpaceX and OpenAI to compete against traditional defense contractors in the $850 billion market. Now, why would Palantir, Andrew, SpaceX, and OpenAI, who all are worth billions, want to compete for more billions? Why? Andrew Industries is valued at 14 billion. Come on, let's put these numbers together. They're valued at 14 billion. The next one up is Palantir. Palantir is valued net worth at 153 billion. 153 billion. Next one. SpaceX is valued at 350 billion. OpenAI valued at 157 billion. Why would billions want to work with billions to get billions? Because they want more money. It's a simple answer. To get trillions, yes. Why not? It's money out there to be made. I keep telling y'all wanna go fight against each other, right? You wanna go fight. And I tell you all the time, you don't when you got money and the people around you got money and the other people around you got money, you come together and you're like, how can we all go get some more money? I got an idea. I got a deal I can cut you in on. What's the problem? Cut me in on a deal. Let's go get this money. So you said it's to get Lockheed Martin out the way, but it's not. It's this to get Lados out the way. Lados is worth 19.4 billion. They're worth all more than Lados. But they also have Lados also wins most of the government contract. Department of Defense wins majority of the federal contracts, accounting for 61% of the ones awarded. Navy saw the largest increase in 2023, but who are the companies? Virginia has held the top spot for federal contracts, small businesses, women owned, racial disparities, and so forth. But who is leading the way with government contracts? That's your folks at Lados, right? So y'all need to know who the government contractor companies are. Why are these people going? I keep telling y'all DOD is putting out money. Air Force puts out uh Air Force contracts pay out the most when you're talking about if you're gonna go work for somebody. MetroStar won 95 million contract to use MetroStar DevSecOps AI, Northrop Grumman, DevSecOps One Globe LLC. You never heard of them? Go check them out. Otimo won a $15 million Air Force contract. Cyber, and then the list goes on. These are utilize these things I'm telling y'all to go work at these companies that are cut. They're getting contracts, and you can get cut into these contracts. That's what you want. You want to get cut into these contracts, right? You want to get cut into these contracts. You want a piece of the pie. There's nothing wrong with you making $200,000 for 5 years, over 5 years. That's $1 million. Ask your mama and daddy how much money they have made in their lifetime. I bet you they barely made a million. Yeah, from the Pentagon you can go into DC. I like living in the Alexandra Crystal City area because it's quick and easy to get into downtown DC where most people have events at. And if I need to go out to Tyson's, I can just hit the highway and go out to Tyson's. Right. But I also like living in Tyson's because food. But again, if you're looking for something to do, you got to be in DC. Most people don't party in Chantilly or I mean, they may do a little party in Alexandria, but Virginia is not known to be a party city, unless you stay in Woodbridge. But most people are married and going to work and commuting, and everything shut down in that area by 12 o'clock anyway. Yeah, it's a whole lot of small companies. Y'all need to get them with them small companies. That's where the money is at. All right, we did a 3-hour stream today. I know D is about to die, and it's time to eat. But I hope y'all got something out of this stream. Don't be on the sidelines waiting for somebody to give you the go ahead. Go take it because they're not waiting on you. There's money to be made, and there's money out there for you. It's a contract out there for you. It's a job out there for you. It is a world of knowledge out there for you. It is also time for y'all to just. I don't even want to say time to make the donuts. Just go, motherfucking. Just go do. Just go do. Go do. Go be better. Right. Again, don't knock people for making 100,000, but don't think that's you're a big dog. Don't think you're a big dog because you move into the DMV area. That little money gonna be ate up. You gonna be like, oh, I got to Uber Eats on the weekend. All right, y'all be fun. Y'all be safe. Do everything I would do and live life.